Welcome back to Social Studies with Miss G. My name is Jenny, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of my favorite activities for 8th grade STAAR review. And today I am joined by one of my really good friends, her favorite president, for unknown reasons, Mr. Andrew Jackson. So welcome him to our video today. I'm going to put him over here where he can look at you guys because he creeps me out a little bit, to be quite honest. My first activity I'm going to show you today is our Era Walk posters, a gallery walk that you can do with your students. There's one for every single era, and in the Era Walk activity, when they come upon a sheet, they have tons of visuals, lots of content information, and the goal with this activity is for students to use these visuals to access the content that you've taught. Now, the way I like to do this activity, I like to blow them up into posters, laminate them so they last longer than a day, and have students use either butcher paper that I've pulled out and cut, or just the big sticky note Post-its, and have them do a brain dump. Use these pictures and write down everything you remember about this time in history. So significant people, places, events, any vocabulary. They don't even have to know a specific person. They can even write down what people did during that time. Doesn't matter. You just want them to start accessing that content and to start clumping it with that era so they can file it away. Put those concepts together, and these eras can be the anchor for how students process through the content, not only for your review, but also for their test. That also leads me to some teaching tips. So when you're doing your era walk, what I do is I tell my kids, I set it up as a game. They're working in teams, and for every time they get 10 facts, especially the first couple times they're on a poster, they raise their hand, I give them a point. Now, after the first couple rotations, they obviously are not going to be able to write down as much information because there's information already on the poster. So then instead of 10, I tell them you need to do 5 adds or edits. So they're checking each other's work to see if they can edit, make any changes, or make any additions in context. So if somebody wrote down somebody's name, so early Republic, somebody writes down John Adams, and then for an add, they could write down second president. So add information about that person, put them in context. What was their impact? So they can start connecting some of the dots to get those extra points. And then we have the competition, see who wins at the end of the day. Now, when you are setting this up in your room, I personally like to do these out of order. I do not like to have my students review our content in chronological order. You may think I'm crazy or say that that's mean, but the reason I do that is because when they take the STAAR, it is not in chronological order. So in order to prepare them for success, I like for them to do what I call brain hopscotch, and they're jumping back and forth from era to era, accessing content from those eras, tying it to that anchor of the era, and being able to remember who was in that era, what are some of the events, because if they can access some content, it opens up so much more information and they feel like they've got a shot at each test question. So that's how we review, because I want them to actually practice how they're going to take the test. So that is our era walk with our era posters. I'm going to have a link to this for my Teachers Pay Teachers, so you can get all of these. There's one for every era, so you don't have to do them yourselves, or if you want to, go for it. They're super fun. The next activity I'm going to show you is definitely my favorite, and it is flowcharts or concept maps. And so this one is over Reconstruction. You can see it. Do you like that, Andrew? Yeah? Yeah? All right. There we go. And you can see how it has fill in the blanks, tons of visuals. I like flowcharts because it can group things together and show a little bit more about relationships than if you were just to give the content information. So once again, I print these out in color because I think it makes a difference with some of the visuals on there. And then I laminate it because they need to last. And we use expo markers for these, so I can erase them in between each class. There is a flow chart for every single era, and because I love teachers, something that has helped that I've incorporated this year is I've added a word bank. So you print those out, laminate them, give kids expos, or do it however you want to, vis-a-vis, and then they use the word bank to try to fill in all the blanks on their concept maps. If a word's on there twice, that means it's twice on the flow chart or concept map. And because I really, really love teachers, there's also an answer key for you to look at, so you have access to that. So those are my two favorite activities. I'll be back on here. I have the links to both of these resources after the video, so you can look those up on Teachers Pay Teachers or go for it and make them yourselves. I'm sure you're more than capable. How to do, Andy? Are you good? Oh yeah, that's good. Bye, you guys.